So I want to take us to a potential. Let me turn up volume. There we go. Back to the Future, I think, has more tells than even Donnie Darko or The Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises. It is a fascinating movie of how intricately the AI just subtly just put so much of everything into a comedy, of course. And I want to focus on the time frame of when Marty went back to the future from where he went. It was October 26, 1985, and then he landed on 11/5, 1955. Now, of course, dying on 11/5 has you rising on 11/7, rising on the third day. And and that's Revelation 11/7, the Bible verse where the beast rises from the pit. We know the Dark Knight Rises came out 2 days after The Dark Knight. 4 years apart, but you get what they did. Rose on the third day, July 18th, 2008 to July 20th, 2012. The Dark Knight Rises, that was the last year of the dragon. Both the Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises were leap years. So we think we're, of course, in that very high watch time. Could be next year, could be any year. We certainly think speculation. I don't know this like I know the truth in God's word, and somebody very close to me wanted me to always kind of point that out. So if he's not the Antichrist, you don't lose credibility about teaching the truth in his word. So good to always point out that it's speculation. But I want to focus on when you run those dates, November 5th, 1955, when Marty landed and knocked down the Twin Pines, or one of the Twin Pines, when it became Lone Pine Mall, which of course Twin Towers, to One World Trade Tower, or Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, which is Mystery Babylon, over to the movie. The next in the trilogy was called The Two Towers, or the Twin Trumps. And then the third movie was Return of the King, which again is One World Trade Tower Rising. And one of the Twin Towers had a horn on top. The horn is the name of the Antichrist in the book of Daniel. And then One World Trade Tower had also the horn or the giant antenna on top of it. So let's focus now on the amount of time between when Marty went back to the future. It is 29 years, 11 months, and 21 days. So you have the number 2, which could be a TO, followed by a 9/11, which is fused with 121, the second part of 11, or the 11 months. Let me give a visual on this. All right, so we might as well also point out that Antichrist is 121 in Gematria, in simple Gematria, where A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, Z is 26. Antichrist, what is known as English ordinal or simple Gematria, is 121. So we go back to look what they coded, and it is, you check volume one more time, because I did turn it back on and off. So we're now going to go, let's go to, so there it is, 11/5, 1955 to 10/26, 1985. It's 29 years, 11 months, 21 days. So what are we looking at? What are we looking at? Where'd I go? 29 years, 11 months, 21 days. So the 2 in their language, of course, can be a TO, 2, 9/11, fused with 121 Antichrist. Those are the numbers of those date parameters that we're looking at from Marty traveling in time. And so we then have to slide over and we want to add that amount of days old to Trump, because the time frame is 10,948 days. And Trump will be, when you add 10,948 days to Donald Trump's birth, it lands on June 4th. And it's June 4th, 1976. And let's go ahead and key in 1976, June 4th. 29 years, 11 months, 21 days. So it's a perfect match. Wasn't necessarily going to be. Sometimes, you know, there's leap years are different, so that the amount of days might be different than the years, months, days. I just wanted to make sure. So it is to June 4th. So now we look at June 4th to this year, and he will be 77 years, 11 months, 21 days. So there's your 77, 11 fused with 121, again, Antichrist. The 11 months, 21 days is the same as the other. So it's the fusion. You have 121 in that time frame for Antichrist, along with Eve is in the spelling of both 11 and 7. So 11 times 70, 11 times 7, 77 is always sort of like Eve coded. It's coding Eve. We know the Hollywood movie All About Eve. And there's two different Eves, just like there's two different Adams. The movie Black Adam is about the Antichrist, just like Jesus was of Adam, or like Adam, that they were both created by God. Humans created by God, not through a man and a woman. And so we know that Bible verse that speaks to Jesus being like Adam. And the Antichrist then, of course, is the Black Adam, per the movie The Rock was in Black Adam. And Eve then, of course, is a two-way go, as it represents the church, or she represents the church, or the divine feminine, which births their new age, which is short-lived, of course, opens the book of Revelation, that spiritual union of Lucifer or Venus, Lucifer, Isis, and the Antichrist on that spiritual birthing. So the 77 and the 11, you know, that's just Eve being heavily coded. But it's that fusion. You have that 121 when you have the 11 months that ends in a 1 fused with the 21 days. So you have Antichrist coded again. So anyway, June 4th would be an interesting time to look at. It is on a Tuesday. He would rise on June 6th, which was the day his mother allegedly died. 6/6/1966. Donald Trump's mother.
According to
so she's Marianne McLeod.
Developer Fred Trump and the mother of Donald Trump, the 45th president of the United States.
Marianne McLeod, Wikipedia. No, then it's his grandmother that died on June 6th. Elizabeth Christ Trump. That's right. Elizabeth Christ Trump, Wikipedia. And she died June 6, 1966. Born in 1880, which is the fusion of 18, 6 + 6 + 6 with 88, which is Trump and Sybil Gematria. All right, love you.